Hey everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last episode, making an EVA foam Viking helmet part 1, you saw us knock out the whole outer shell of the helmet. We heat shaped our 3 pieces to build the whole top half of the helmet. We cut out our bottom face piece to cover your cheeks and your nose. And we did our neck piece. We also threw on the round circle details on the side that the horns are going to stick out of. Super easy. You saw how easy that was. You could totally do this. Now in tonight's episode, making an EVA foam Viking helmet part 2, we're going to knock out all the rest of the details, which is a lot, which is the horns, the spikes, the metal stripping, the 2-headed metal snake detail, then all the damage, the gouges, the dents, a lot going on here, but none of it's hard. Totally easy. So, if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. All right, we transferred our template over for our strip that's going to run around the back of the helmet, right off of these circles around the back and to this circle right here. Never go 100 miles an hour past your fingers because you won't be able to channel your inner Peter Parker and have nimble fingers if you're missing one. Right around the curve. Ooh, let's see. Looks like we might be a hair long. But that's easily fixable. We'll just take a tiny little piece out of the middle and we'll be good to go. All right, there we go. Give it 5 minutes and then bam, contact. Bring it in right up against our circle, just like that. Just line it up all the way around. All right, there we go. Look at that. But as you start building, you're going to run into a lot of things that you're going to have to adjust. Inside here, there's a gap, which we're going to fill in with super glue, and we're going to connect it like that. So this gap will be gone. Super glue in here. Got our super glue down inside there on both walls, just like that. Now we're going to come in and we're going to hold it together like this while it bonds. All right, there we go. See that? We just closed the gap. So we closed the gap here and here by super glue. All right, we just trimmed out our back neck piece. All right, this is gonna wrap around the back like that just to create a stepped layer. Hit the back of our helmet, but not too heavy. We just wanna tighten it up just like that. All right, there we go. Give it a few minutes. All right, now we're gonna put our 1/4-inch stripping around the end. So we made our mark there. Start right where we wanna start at. So we talk about this a lot. Foam stretches when you're putting it down, especially when you're using the thinner foam, so you can really line this stuff up perfectly just by taking your time. All right, here we go. We're going to begin putting our stripping on. Now what we did was we cut our 1/4-inch strip and we cut the corner on an angle like that. We're going to start there. And we're going to start right on the edge like that. Line it up. Put a thin little bead. Lay our strip down flush with the edge. That's it, just keep going. All right, now as we approach the end, we're going to put this down the same angle like that we did on the other side. Slice through. Now we know when we lay it down, everything's going to go right in place. Thanks to the angle cut, Look at that, right on the edge, just like that. All right, now we cut another 1/4 inch strip. We cut the end of it off on an angle so it lines up just like that. And then we laid this down and we cut the end to match up with the top. Just like that. There we go. See how that corner matches up? Beautiful. Now we just keep going. All right, there we go. Perfect corner right there. Flush up here, perfect corner. Goes all the way around to another perfect corner and flush up here. All right, now we cut a long 3/8 of an inch thick piece and we're doing the same treatment. We're super gluing, smoothing it out with an extra piece of foam and laying it down. We're gonna go all the way around the helmet on both sides. We're gonna lay another strip down just like this, but we're gonna follow this curve around. So we cut out a piece of paper and we drew our line and then we just flipped it to the other side and drew the line on that side. We're gonna start the end and we're gonna bend it. Bend it as it goes around the curve, just like that. Hold it down. Use our glove to get our squeeze out off. Sweet. Now we're just gonna follow this line around and cut it off at the end and then do the other side. All right, there we go. We put our curved raised detail down, flipped our pattern over, did it on that side, same way we did all the other little strips. Super glue and a little tiny extra piece of foam as a squeegee. All right, now we've got our snake detail. It's gonna go on the front of our helmet. It's thin foam. We're just gonna come in with an X-Acto knife. And there's a lot of curves in this. So we're going to tip our knife up and we're just gonna pivot all the way around the circles. Bam, gonna go right on the front. We got our wood out because we don't wanna burn our cutting mat. Area wet with super glue, just like that, using a foam, extra piece of foam as a squeegee. We're going to put this down. We're gonna, all right, there we go. Now we're just gonna follow it around and we're gonna super glue it down because we don't want to stretch it and have it not be symmetrical. So we've got it down. Our positioning lines drawn down. Lay our serpent down. Slightly bent. See how we bent it right here a little bit? So it looks like it's a piece of metal that's been bent over the edge a little bit. And we're just gonna follow our snake around. Now it looks like a thin piece of metal bent over other metal. Now we're just gonna do the other side. All right, now we're going to begin doing the spikes that run down the top of the helmet, and we have 7 of these. That's it. Let's do 6 more. All right, there we go. There's 7 of them. Now we put our dots 2 inches apart all the way around the top of our helmet. That's where we're going to start putting these. Super glue. Just like that. We're going to come right over our dot, like so. We're going to push it down and hold it while it bonds. Make sure that all the edges are down. That's it. I'm just going to follow the helmet around to the back. All right, now we're gonna get ready to do our horns. We're gonna have to do a lot of shaping here, and we need 1 3/4 inch thick foam to do our horns. So we took an 1 inch thick piece and a 3/4 inch piece, and we're going to heat seal them, and we're going to stick them together, and we're gonna cut our horns out of this. Give it a few minutes. All right, time to make contact. Very easy. We'll just line it up. All right, there we go, 1.75 inches. Bam. All right. Now, we're gonna give this a little bit for the contact cement to set up. And then we're going to rip these out on the bandsaw. And then after we rip these out on the bandsaw, they're gonna have a 90-degree edge all the way around them, and it's time to bust out the beast bit. We're gonna get the rough bit out, and we're gonna tear this up, and we're gonna round it off, and we're gonna make some horns. Yeah, check that out. Now, like we talked about, it's that time. Time to get your aggression out and shred the heck out of some foam. So we're gonna get the beast bit out. We're gonna go all the way around the corners. We're gonna take the corner edge off, and then we're slowly gonna shape it. We're gonna get ourselves ready. We're gonna put our dust mask on, and check it out. We're gonna try something new. Since this dust goes everywhere, we're going to set up our shop vac, and what we're going to do is we're going to Dremel right here like this in front of the shop vac, so most of the dust goes right into the shop vac. All right. Holy cow, check that out. Man, we just shaped a horn. We just went from a square horn like this to this. Wow. Now that's just the first wave. Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna clean it up a little bit, get all the frays off. We're gonna round the bottom off. Time to gouge out the bulk of this one now. Insane. All right, now we're gonna come in with our 220. We're gonna hit these babies up and we're gonna smooth them out. Wow. Let's come in here with the 320 first. Let's try to get one more round of smooth. Ooh, look at that. I'd say that's roasting hot. Holy cow, I cannot believe this. All right, let's just test it out here. We're jumping in a little early, but let's do it. What? Man, as Cookie would say, that's dope, dude. Check that out. Man, I feel like landing on a shore, jumping out and crushing someone's head with a big Viking hammer. We're gonna cement our helmet and our horns. Got both our horns and both sides of our helmet cemented. Give it 5 minutes and then bam, contact. Put that down like that. Put some pressure on it. There we go. So we're gonna come in, we're gonna bam, right down on there like that. Holy cow, is that nuts. And get the heck out of here. This is totally insane. The Viking helmet. All right, now we're gonna start knocking out our 7 spikes that are gonna run down the top of our helmet. and you've seen us do this before in a lot of builds. How we make spikes, very easy. We measured out 3/4 of an inch squares all the way around, and we marked our center point here on each one with this dot. And this is very easy. You've seen us do this before. We marked our center spot. We're going to cut from this corner to the center. Go through just like that. Now we're going to go from this center point back to this corner. So we're going to spin it around just like that. Nice and careful. We're going to saw through. All right, beautiful. There is a triangle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay it over on its side. Now we're going to cut from this point to this corner. We go through just like that. Now we're going to go from this point to that corner. Just about like that. We're going to get our knife started. We're going to come through and go just like that. And now what you have is that. That is a perfect little 4-sided spike. All right, there you go. 7 perfect square spikes. Now we're going to get the Dremel out and we're going to round off all the corners so that they're round spikes. Okay, now we're going to do our spikes. Now, we've talked about this before. When you're Dremeling and you have a point, do not go out past your point because the bit will catch on the tip and it'll tear it. Instead, turn it around and go into the point with your Dremel. Into the point all the way around. Notice how we're going in on the end. So now we're going to go into the tip. All right, see that? See how we rounded all the edges off? Very cool. Now we're going to go around the edge and we're going to take off these little tips. All right, there we go. Check that out. All right, we're going to come in with some super glue on our spikes. We're going to line them up in the center of each circle, just like that. Now we're just going to keep going right down the helmet. There we go, all 7 spikes. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to start using our X-Acto knife to put hacks and gouges on here. Now you've seen us do this before. We've come in here with our X-Acto knife and we've stuck it in at an angle and we've done a crease that way. Then we've come in with our X-Acto knife and gone through on an angle this direction and met back at the beginning, and look at that. Good grief, is that a legit gouge right there. Now we're going to go all the way around the helmet. We're going to do a bunch of these. So go right through like that. We're going to come through this side. We're going to go right through like that. See what we're doing here? We're just coming in on an angle and then coming in on an angle, peeling the middle out, and look at how that's starting to look. That's exactly what you want, just like that. We're even going to get crazy and we're going to stick in, we're going to go right down the front of the face like this, and then we're going to go to this side, start it, just like that. That's what it looks like after you've done a bunch of gashes on your foam. The little shreds are all over the table. There is the result. Good grief, look at that thing. Hacked up. Some splits in the front of the horns there. All right, now our very last piece is going to be getting out our Dremel with our round stone bit, and we're going to bounce it all over this thing to put dents everywhere. See how it starts to look all dented there? All right, check it out. Check out how we banged up all around the edges everywhere. Look at that. We went through first and did all the gouging, and then we went through with the Dremel and put big dents, and we bent all the edges of our metal everywhere, all along the edges, all along here, here, up in here, and then we did random big boulder dents on the helmet all the way up around the edges, just fill in anywhere you want. And man, when we start to cover this thing with silver paint and we leave some dark in the crevices and stuff, this thing's gonna look weathered and grody and banged up. Not sure Vikings said grody. Anyway, looking good. All right, there it is, completed and built. You saw how easy that was, just as easy as every other one of the builds that we do. And we freewheeled it a little bit with the damage. You can do as much or as little as you want. You saw how easy it is with the X-Acto knife doing the gashes, and with the Dremel, the round Dremel bit doing the denting. And it's totally up to you. Damage or no damage, the amount of damage, a lot or a little, all that stuff's up to you because it's your deal. So that was it. That concludes making an EVA foam Viking helmet part 2. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're gonna go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.